in Korea. Okay. Well, we're going to be waiting for some of you to say hi in our chat room. So, first off is 별초롱님. Hi, thank you for coming. Okay. And I need more of you today to join. It's the last day of February 2025, and it's going to be an English show today. So, I hope more people could join. Okay. So, I have a Chinese name here. Blah, blah, blah. And hello, Gwen. It says, or he says, or she says. Okay. This is my first time onto your live show. Well, it's your first time? Oh, yeah. I think I haven't seen your name around. But well, let me know how I should read your name or call you. Okay. Sandra Ku is here. Thank you for coming, Sandra. And by the way, guys, let me know where you guys are coming from. Like, for example, our friend Teiji Shimada-san is coming from Osaka, Japan. And we have 별초록, who is also a member here. 초록님, you're from Korea, right? Let me know which region in Korea you're from, okay? And Sandra is coming from Taiwan, and this is also your first time to join my show. Well, thank you for coming, Sandra. Are you coming from Taipei? I've been to Taipei multiple times because I used to date a guy who was living in Taipei. So I know much about Taiwan, Taiwanese culture, and Taipei. Yes. Okay, so we're having a lot of people join from all over the world because I think you guys know that for on the live show of each month on last Friday, we were doing the show in English. So I think more people can understand the show here. Oh, you're from east of Taiwan, Taichung, right? Yes, Taichung is where the factories are, the big city for semiconductor, right? Taichung. Zena Lee is here. Zena, thank you for coming. Hello. And Stuart is you're from Taiwan too. Let me know which area you're from. From Taiwan. Sandra, you're not from Taichung? Taichung is a different place. I've been to Tainan too, you know. Taitung. It's a different place, maybe. Oh, Zena is also from Taiwan, and Tadashi is from Tokyo, Japan. Hello, Tadashi, and Taidong. Taidong. Ah, that's why you're saying you're from the east. Taidong. Okay, all right, got it. Wow, I have a lot of people coming from Japan, Taiwan, and also from Korea. Okay. Ah, 초롱님. Oh, yes, I got it. Yeah, Taidong. Taidong is different from Taichung. Okay. All right. I can speak a little bit of, Chinese, a very little bit. I used to live in Shanghai, so I was just surviving with some of my survival Chinese expressions. But Taichung, Taidong, Tainan, Taipei, I know it's coming from the directions. Yes. Okay, so guys, today this is going to be the last live show of February 2025, and we're gonna go right into part one. Okay, so you have the passage here on the screen. Wow, I have so many people here from Taiwan. Oh, Stuart is from Pingtong. Okay, Pingtong, and Nolan, you're also from Taiwan. This is amazing. Wow, a lot of people from Taiwan. Okay. And Sandra, you also lived in Shanghai for 2 years, really? Which part of Shanghai did you live in? I used to live near the French concession. Oh, you're from Kaohsiung. Kaohsiung, right? Kaohsiung. Oh, okay. Talking and writing test this March. Oh, when do you guys have the test? Maybe that's why so many people are coming in from Taiwan. Okay, let me know. I've taken a test in Tokyo and it was quite interesting and it was a little bit different from Seoul. So maybe next time I might try to take a test in Taiwan. That would be interesting too. West of Shanghai, close to the industry area. Okay. March 23rd. Wow, that's almost about a month. So it seems like you have enough time to practice. And if you practice hard enough, I guess you guys would be able to get the score that you're aiming for. Let me know what your goals are. A lot of Korean students aim for 160. Some flight attendant students, they like to get 190. Okay, for example, Korean Air, if you're working for Korean Air, you need to get 190. Yes. Okay. All right. Stuart, you're also pretty nervous about the test. Okay. Well, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to read the first passage and I'll read it for you guys first, okay? Are you craving freshly baked goods? Visit Sweet Haven Bakery on Main Street. This week only from 3 to 5 p.m., enjoy a buy one, get one free deal on all muffins, bagels, and donuts. Don't miss out on this sweet deal. Stop by today and taste the love in every bite. Okay. All right. It seems like we have a fan of Otani. Baseball player, huh? Otani the God is here. Hello. Thank you for joining. All right. So this is our first passage. And guys, if you have any question regarding specific word, if you want me to let you know or read some word specifically aloud and let you know the pronunciation and the stress of like specific word, let me know in the chat room. Aside from your questions, let me see. The word craving has a V sound, and I know a lot of Koreans have hard time making the right V sound. So make sure you say craving, craving. And the word freshly, freshly has F. And we also have problem making the correct F sound. So freshly and baked. Okay, when a word ends with a K sound with an ED following, then it shouldn't be baked, but it's got to be baked. Baked. And Teji, yes, I was getting there. The word haven, it's not heaven, but it's haven. Haven. Okay. Oh, we have somebody coming from Vietnam, right? Hurong, you're from Vietnam, right? Thank you for coming. And the word Main Street isn't so hard. The word is Main Street. 3 to 5 p.m. 3 can be a little bit difficult. You have to make the TH pronunciation. Along with 5, this word has both F and V sound. 5, 5. Enjoy a buy one, get one free deal. Now, when you say buy one, get one free deal, it's like one word. You have to think of this as one word. So starting from A, buy one, get one free deal, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 words are just one word. Okay, you have to consider that as just one word. So a buy one, get one free deal. Okay, and the names of the bread, it says muffins, there's an S there. Bagels, there's also an S there. Donuts, also an S there. So make sure to say muffins, bagels, donuts. Don't miss out on this sweet deal and stop by today and taste the love in every bite. Now, when you read the word deal, okay, you have to be careful making that L sound. Okay, when you're making the L sound, deal, it somehow has a part of the sound, the part of the L sound has Y, touch of Y. Okay, so it's not til, but it's deal, yo. If you make a little bit of Y sound with L, you can make the sound which is more like, the native sound, okay? Deal. Bagels, also it has L, right? Bagels. Okay. All right. But, it's with the sound of deal, L in the word deal. Okay, deal. And there are a lot of words that have that YL sound, which are sale, or fail. Some words that have LE ending, like pale or tail, okay? Fail, bail, and then mail. Can you hear that yo sound? All right, so sail, pale, tail, fail, bail, mail, and here the word deal, okay? Sweet deal. All right, so I'm going to read it twice, guys, and make sure to check the meaning phrases because although it might sound like I'm reading a little fast, However, I'm not just reading all the words like one after another, okay? I'm making sure that I'm getting the right meaning phrases. So here I go with the slower version. Are you craving freshly baked goods? Visit Sweet Haven Bakery on Main Street. This week only from 3 to 5 p.m. Enjoy a buy one get one free deal on all muffins, bagels, and donuts. Don't miss out on this sweet deal. Stop by today and taste the love in every bite. Better version. Thank you for coming on the show. And I'm about to read the first passage, the second version of it, in a fast paced, okay, speed. Are you craving freshly baked goods? Visit Sweet Haven Bakery on Main Street. This week only from 3 to 5 p.m. Enjoy a buy one get one free deal on all muffins, bagels, and donuts. Don't miss out on this sweet deal. Stop by today and taste the love in every bite. Okay. And I figure this passage could be a little hard because, you have to be very careful on making the clear B sound and V sound. It's really hard to distinguish these two sounds for most Koreans. So B and V sound, for example, every bite could be quite challenging there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the second passage. Here we go. All right. And guys, if you would like to, for me to let you know specifically on how to, pronounce specific sound or word, just let me know. Teji says, stop by. Do I have to pronounce P sound? Actually, you don't, because P and B are basically the same sound, okay? P is a voiced sound and P is a voiceless sound and B is a voiced sound, but they're basically the same. So, p, b. When you touch your throat, you can feel that when you are making the P sound, your vocal doesn't, have that, the vibration. But when you make that B sound, b, you can feel the vibration, right? So stop by. P is linked with B. So stop by. Don't say stop by. Stop by. Stop by. Okay, now second passage. Okay, now before moving on to the second passage, I have a question from Sandra. Miss out on, can these three words said at once? Yeah, you can say miss out on. Miss out on, miss out on, miss out on. Okay. Or if you want to make that T a little bit of stronger T, then you can also say miss out on, miss out on, miss out on. Okay. So it's either miss out on or miss out on. All right, I'm going to read the second passage here. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Weather Updates. We're starting today with a mix of sunshine and clouds. However, scattered showers are expected in the southern part of Maplewood later this afternoon. Be sure to wear a raincoat, rain boots, and bring an umbrella if you're heading out. Okay, so this was a weather forecast. And some words I see here, we always see this word tuning in, okay? So when we see a phrasal verb, normally the stress is on the adverb, not the verb, right? So it's got to be tuning in, and you have to say the word in a little bit stronger, to daily weather updates. Make sure you make the proper TH sound, weather. Sunshine. There's a SH sound there. And scattered. Or you can say with a hard T sound, which would be scattered. Expected, right? And southern. Yes, I hear some people might saying southern, but you have to be careful with the word southern. Northern is northern. Let's see. East, west, south, and north. North would be northern, south would be southern, careful with this. West would be western, and east would be eastern, okay? So the word southern is pronounced slightly differently. Okay, so east, eastern, west, western, south, southern, north, northern. I think for most of us here, American accent might be easier because, I'm pretty sure all of you are watching lots of videos on YouTube, and most of, YouTube videos are exposing American accent. Of course, there are a lot of British accents or accents from Australia, New Zealand, or, English is an international language. So people from all over the world is using. So we have the Korean accent, we have, I'm pretty sure, Taiwanese accent, Japanese accent, but American accent is more dominantly used throughout the world, I think. Okay, just make sure that you guys know it's not southern, but it's southern, southern. And the name of this place is Maplewood, Maplewood, and raincoat, rain boots with an S, umbrella, and if you're heading out. Now, this is another phrasal verb. So again, when you say a phrasal verb, when you read a phrasal verb, it's normally the adverb that's being stressed, okay? So it's tuning in, heading out. Okay? All right. So T and D, normally in American English, T is like a little bit softer. It's pronounced softer, right? So let me see. I'll read this slower and let me see if there are any T's that are being a little bit softened. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Weather Updates. We're starting the day with a mix of sunshine and clouds. However, scattered showers are expected in the southern part of Maplewood later this afternoon. Be sure to wear a raincoat, rain boots, and bring an umbrella if you're heading out. Okay, Thong Pham Dui. So I guess you're coming from Vietnam? Thank you for joining. All right. So as I was reading, I found some words like starting. I read this as starting, but starting. It could be starting. And scattered. It could also be scattered. Scattered. Expected. I read it as expected, but you can say expected. Expected. Or part of. Part of. But I said part of. Part of. Later. But I read later. Later. And be sure to wear, but I rather would say be sure to wear. Be sure to wear. Raincoat, rain boots. Okay. Well, so those are some of the words that I would soften the T pronunciation. Oh, also the word part of. Did I read that part? Part of, part of. I say part of, part of. Okay, I'm going to read it a little bit faster this time. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Weather Updates. We're starting the day with a mix of sunshine and clouds. However, scattered showers are expected in the southern part of Maplewood later this afternoon. Be sure to wear a raincoat, rain boots, and bring an umbrella if you're heading out. Okay. So that was our second passage. Any questions, everyone? Any questions before I head on to the second part? Let me know if you have any questions. No questions? So, Utani the God, are you coming from Japan? Are you supporting Japanese baseball team or the baseball player? He is so famous, Utani. And he's so good, right? Okay, seems like you guys have no questions regarding the second passage or part one in general. So I'm going to be moving on to part two. Now, this is the part where you guys have to be busy with your fingers. You gotta be typing in the words that you would like for me to use when I describe this picture in 30 seconds, okay? So let me know what expressions you want me to incorporate in my answer. Okay? Are people having some problem with the connection? How come I'm not seeing anybody talking in the chat room? Because I'm waiting for you guys to share the expressions, okay? Oh, so Otani the God, you're from Taiwan. Just a big fan of him. Delighted? Yeah, it seems like people are delighted. People are happy. Yes. People are not feeling so bad. People are sitting around the table. True. It's very true. And I think the words like sunglasses might appear. Yes. And a guy has a beard. Guy has a beard. You have to be careful with whether to put a in front of beard, a beard, and in front of with sunglasses, it's plural, right? So you have to say he's wearing sunglasses. You can't say he's wearing a sunglasses. And what are some verbs that you guys are seeing? What are some verbs? Not just the nouns, but we can see. Why do we think that they're delighted? Look at their facial expressions. What are they doing? One man wearing glasses. I think it's better to say sunglasses because it has shades. So instead of saying just glasses, you should say sunglasses. And chatting together. Good. Chatting together. And two of them are wearing shirts. Well, actually, all of them are wearing shirts. The guys, they're wearing maybe dress shirts. Typically, those shirts that guys wear inside their in like the inner shirt they wear with suits. It's called dress shirts. Stuart said, "This is a picture taken outside, and there is three people." Stuart, there are, right? There are three people in the middle of the picture. The man. Now, when you say the man, it seems like you already talked about him. So when you are talking about something for the first time in English, it's not the, but it's got to be a. A man sitting in the middle is using his home? Really? Others looking at it and laughing. Oh, maybe you're talking about using a phone. Phone, Phone, right? And I guess they're watching some funny videos. Now, when you put some, it means that you're going to say video in plural. So some funny videos, okay? Because video is a countable noun. So when you add some in front of that word, it's got to be some funny videos. And Otani says, they got some good news from the phone. Well, if the phone said something, it could be from the phone, but they got some good news on the phone. They're checking some good news on the phone would be the right preposition. 별초롱님, people are smiling. They're looking at the mobile phone, okay? And they're looking at a smartphone and laughing. Now, when you are talking about the phone for the first time, it is the same thing. Because you're talking about an object or a person for the same time, you would have to say a phone or a smartphone instead of just saying the smartphone. Okay, Lily Orange, this picture was taken outdoors and there are three people in the picture, two men and a woman. All of them are sitting at a table. A man in glasses is wearing a tie and looking at the phone. Okay, you have to be careful. You have to be careful with the prepositions. It's looking at, sitting at the table, and listening to, talking to. Yes, be careful with the prepositions. Zaina said, receiving some good news on the phone. That was very good. On the phone. Okay. All right. So it seems like I have pretty much everything that I need. Oh, Sandra, they might watching some funny videos on the phone. Now, Sandra, if you want to say they might, you have to understand that the be verb is not are, but it's got to be, the original form, and they might be watching some funny videos. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to describe this picture in the easiest but most effective way possible for you to get good score. Okay. And I always tell you guys that when you're describing a picture with three less than three with three people or less, then it's better to talk about each person one by one in the order of location, appearance, and action. Okay? So, Taiji, when you say she's wearing a earring, it is true we can see only one earring that she's wearing, but I believe she would be wearing two earrings, okay? I don't wear just one earring because you guys can see only one side of me, but I wear two earrings, so it's better to put it in plural. Okay. All right, so let me describe this picture for you. This is a picture taken outside, and there are three people in this picture. They look like coworkers. On the right side of the picture, there's a man. He's wearing sunglasses and a tie, and he's smiling. In the middle of the picture, there's a man. He's smiling, and he's wearing a purple shirt. He's holding his phone. And on the left side of the picture, there's a woman. She's wearing earrings and a white shirt. She is sitting next to the man, and all of them are looking at the phone. Maybe they're busy. Okay. I wanted to save that part for last when I said all of them are looking at the phone, because the verb looking or looking at was applied for everyone, applied to everybody, right? So I didn't want to say he is looking at the phone, she's looking at the phone, or he is looking at the phone, but I just wanted to say that, mention that only once by using the subject, all of them are looking at the phone. Okay? And Lily Orange said, the man in the center is holding a phone and the woman is resting one arm on the table. That is perfectly fine. That's a very good expression. The woman is resting one arm on the table. Right. In this picture, nobody is leaning on the table, because when you are saying leaning on something, it means that someone is putting weight on the other object they're leaning on. Okay. So I don't see anybody leaning here, leaning on the table, but I see people resting their arms on the table. Very good expression. Okay. So that was the first picture, and now I'm going to move on to the second picture. Here we go. A very easy picture, right? And again, when there are three or less number of people in a picture, you have to go one by one. Location, and then talk about their appearance, their hair color, the hairstyle, and what they're wearing, their attire, the clothes, accessories, and then talk about their actions using the verbs, right? So share the expressions with me. Not many things are happening in this picture, but still there are some things to describe. Okay. She has white hair. Yeah, you can say she has white hair, she has silver hair, or she has blonde hair. Blonde. Yeah, you can call this blonde. And this is a picture of an office with two women. That is a very good description, an overall description of the picture. And Mingyu, Kim Mingyu-님, why did you delete? Why did you delete the message? I was about to read it. Oh, Mingyu, please share your answer with us. It can be just the expression, the word, or a sentence. I think it was just fine. Otani, do we talk about their ethnicity during the exam? No, don't ever talk about the ethnicity, okay? Don't you ever talk about, I see a white woman, I see a dark woman, I see an Asian. No, don't say that, please. No. Or don't say, what if she's not like, that, like for instance, if you say the woman is from a certain like country, what if she's not from that certain country, right? Lily Orange, on the right, the woman in dark clothes is standing and pointing at the computer screen. That's good. That's good. But when you say at the computer screen, it seems like we have already talked about the computer screen. So you can say at a computer screen. 우영님, a woman who is wearing a red shirt is typing on the keyboard. Okay, so the expression is typing on the keyboard. Keyboard. Okay, and looking at the standing woman. Lily Orange, you cannot say looking at the standing woman. It does sound okay, but we don't say looking at the standing woman, but it's better to say a woman who is standing. So you can say a woman standing, looking at the woman standing, or you can say looking at a woman who is standing. She is resting her arms on the table. That is true. And Stuart, this is a picture taken in an office, and there are two people, and the woman with white hair is pointing at a screen. A screen. Stuart, remember? First time, so you say a screen, and showing the woman in red shirt something. Okay. I guess they're discussing some project. Okay, they seem like colleagues. That's a very good expression. They seem like, they look like. Good. And Tejas says she is pointing at a monitor and explaining something to the other woman. Lily, it seems they are okay. Lily, it seems like they are. Okay, so it seems like subject plus verb. So it seems like they're having a discussion. Or they seem like colleagues. Okay? So you got this one right. They seem like colleagues, but when you were saying it seems like blah blah, you have to get that one corrected, okay? And Sandra Koo, there are two ladies in an office. It's in an office because office starts with an O. So when there's a vowel, then it's got to be in an office. And one of the ladies, okay, when you want to say that, one of the plural, it's ladies, one of the ladies, okay? She's typing on a keyboard. Okay, so Taeji, when you want to use the verb typing, it's typing on a keyboard. Okay, and pointing at a monitor. Okay, guys, when you say something for the first time, even if it's a monitor, you have to say a monitor. A woman on the right is standing and pointing at a monitor. Okay, 별초롱님. A, B, C, D, E. Overall, it seems like they are discussing. They are. You left down the V verb. Okay. All right, so I think I have enough to say about this picture. So I'll show you what I can say, how much I could say in 30 seconds. This is a picture taken in an office, and I can see two women in this picture, and they look like coworkers. In the middle of the picture, I can see a woman. She has blonde hair, and she is wearing a black shirt. And she is looking at a monitor and pointing at it. Next to her, there is a woman. She has dark hair and she's wearing a red shirt. She is sitting down and looking at the woman. And maybe they are working together. Okay. So this was what I was talking about in terms of keeping certain steps when you're describing a picture. So when I was talking about the woman with blonde hair, I didn't go like directly into the expression pointing at. But first I said, in the middle of the picture, there is a woman. And I gave an introduction of the woman by providing the information of her location. And then I said she has blonde hair and she is wearing a black shirt. And I was looking at her watch, necklace, but I didn't say more because I knew that I wouldn't have enough time. And then I said she is standing and okay. I said she is looking at a monitor and pointing at it. I don't remember exactly whether I said screen or I said monitor, but she's looking at a monitor, not at the, right? At a monitor and pointing at it. Okay, so this is what I said about the woman in the middle. And then next to her was the next person's location. Next to her, there is a woman. She has dark hair. I told you, you don't necessarily have to talk about people's skin color, right? And she is wearing a red shirt. Okay. And then I said she is sitting down and listening to the woman. Now you can tell that the word the is playing a very important part here because she's not just listening to any woman, but she's listening to the woman that we just talked about before her. Okay, so this is how you describe a picture. So if you're just starting to practice or get ready for TOEIC speaking test, guys, when you're describing a picture, you don't just say all the information that comes up to your head, okay? There are certain steps that you got to follow, and this is something that I suggest. Make sure to give the information about the location of the person or the object that you're trying to describe, and then the appearance in case of people, and then finally the action, what they are doing, okay? And the actions could be as simple as this: looking at, sitting down, listening to, okay? You don't have to use any fancy words to get good score on part 2. Okay. Zena, this picture is taken in an office. Again, you're talking about the office for this first time. So in an office would be proper. And there are. If you say there were, it's past. And for this part, everything is in present progressive. It's happening right now in front of your eyes. There are 2 ladies. The woman in blue skirt, where is she? Is telling some information to the other woman in red. Okay? So it's got to be present progressive, not past. Okay. I hope you understood, Zena. All right, now we're moving on. We're going to move on to part 3. And the questions were about flight experiences, guys. Imagine that an English newspaper company is conducting research for an article and they want to collect information about flight experiences. Now, first up is this one here. Have you ever traveled by plane, and where did you go on your most recent flight? Have you ever traveled by plane, and where did you go on your most recent flight? It's not a difficult question because nowadays so many people travel abroad. I mean, before COVID, it was sort of it was becoming a hype. Like people were going everywhere to travel around. But then during COVID, I guess we were prohibited. There were a lot of restrictions, so we couldn't travel freely. And then after COVID, it's like going back, to the before COVID time. Everybody's going somewhere. And in Korea, a lot of people are flying out to different countries. And we have a lot of people visiting Korea too. And Nguyen Huang, yes, I have. I traveled to Ho Chi Minh City by plane with my parents. So you're not from Ho Chi Minh, right? I've been to Da Nang and it was so beautiful. It was so good. And by the way, I had the best Vietnamese pho in Da Nang. My parents wanted to have Vietnamese pho every single morning for breakfast. 별초록, I have traveled by plane last month. I went to Japan. Okay. 초록님, what city, which part of Japan did you go to? And Stuart, yes, I went to Japan last month with my family during the Happy New Year holiday. Wow. Seems like a lot of people are visiting Japan. Yes. Well, I have visited. My most recent international flight was to Japan too. I went to Tokyo to meet one of my friends, Tadashi. And 별초록님, you went to Fukuoka. And next month, I'll be visiting Japan again. And I think I'll be visiting Osaka to another one of my Japanese friends. Um, yes, Teiji Shimada-san. So it's a pleasure for me. It's a great honor for me to meet all these like international friends through this channel. And you guys reach out to me. And Tadashi and Teiji-san, they've reached out to me and they visited Korea several times. So I'm, returning their visit. I'm going back. I'm not going back. I'm going to Osaka for the first time to meet Teiji Shimada-san there next month. Otani, I just went Seoul last year. You came to Seoul? The foods there were incredibly delicious. What kind of food? What kind of dishes did you have in Seoul? I wonder. And Chu Chin Tang, I've traveled last month and my family went to Japan, Hokkaido, for 7 days. I hear many great things about Hokkaido. I've traveled. Okay. Now, when you use last month, it means a specific time in the past. So you don't use present perfect, but you would say, I traveled last month. Or you can say, I traveled by plane last month. Okay. So you have to use simple past tense. Okay. I've got some great answers there, great ideas. And now I'm going to move on to the next question, which is, what kind of transportation do you use to get to the airport for your flight? Yes, it's really hard to get to the airport, right? Especially international airports, really, really, really far from the city center. Nguyen Huang, I haven't been to Korea. I hope to go there one day. Oh, you know what? Korea, it's crazy. We have a lot of foreign visitors in Korea, especially Seoul. And since I work in Gangnam area, I see lots of foreigners. And I hear foreigners who have visited Korea multiple times, nowadays they don't even come to Gangnam area. They go to some areas in the northern side of the city and they like to visit Itaewon, Hongdae University, and they like to visit the palaces and also some other small cities in Korea. Yes. Yes, you guys should definitely visit Korea. And Sandra, yes, I've been traveled. I have traveled, not I have been, but I have traveled many times by plane. And my most recent flight, my most recent flight was to Korea. Okay. It's already the 7th time. Wow. You've been to Korea 7 times? That's crazy. I traveled to Seoul. Recently, I traveled to Seoul, Daeji, yes. I can say I've been to Japan last month. I got to the Incheon airport by subway. Yeah, we can use subway to get to Incheon airport, which is so convenient, very fast. And we also have a limousine. I had to take this very early flight to Tokyo and I couldn't go there by the subway because the subway starts operating around like 6 a.m. or something. So I had to take this airport limousine and it was like 4:30 or 5 something when I took it. Lady Orange, I often catch a taxi to get to the airport for my flight because it's convenient since I have a lot of luggage, which is true, yes. Normally, I take taxi or MRT airport line to the airport for my flight. It's the most convenient way for me. Yeah, Taiwan, you guys have MRTs, right? And Ngothi Nunu, I usually get to the airport by car because I live far from the airport and it takes me about 2 hours to get there. That's quite far. Yeah. And Sandra, actually over 10 and then 7 times. Actually over 7 times. Oh, you came to Korea over 7 times and you also studied there? Cool. So maybe you should be able to say a little bit of Korean too. Eun TV, I use subway to get to the airport in my country, South Korea. The subway station is very good. I can even transfer to other lines of subway for free. Oh, I can transfer for free. You can just simply say, I can transfer for free. I often grab a taxi, Tet Hung. It is very convenient and fast, especially in my country. And Stewart, I get to the Taipei National Airport by taking train, high-speed rail, and also MRT. It's pretty exhausting. Okay, so Stewart, let's make it clear. It is exhausting. exhausting, or you can say I get exhausted. And Nguyen Huang, I usually catch a taxi to go to the airport. Okay, now we have here the third question, which is, what is the most important factor you consider when choosing a flight? The first one is in-flight dining options. Second one is flight time, and the third one is friendly service. Okay. I'm not a person who enjoys in-flight dining options, like in-flight meals. I once was flying to, I think it was Thailand. Yeah, I believe it was Thailand. It's about like 4 or 5 hours flight. And I had the privilege of like getting my seat upgraded to a business class seat. There was a problem. I didn't book a business class seat, but they, upgraded my, seat to a business class. So I was able to ask for like ramen noodle. Like, they don't serve you that cup noodles, but they actually cook ramen noodles for you for business class, like, people. So I asked and I tried it, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good because the noodles were not fully cooked. I heard it's because of the like pressure, like when you're up there in the sky. So it wasn't that great. And besides, I don't really enjoy in-flight meals. I prefer like staying empty stomach when I'm on a flight, even if it's a long flight, and then wait until I get off the flight and then maybe have some local food. So for me, in-flight dining options wouldn't be a choice. Maybe flight time. Yeah, because like the reason why I took the first flight to Tokyo last time was because I wanted to, enjoy my time in Tokyo as long as possible. I wouldn't take anything like like after 3 or 4 p.m. because that means that I cannot enjoy my first day in another country, especially if it's a trip, right? So I prefer to take the earliest flight, which makes sense. But then if you take those like unpopular hour flights, for example, you take like 7 p.m. flight or 5 p.m. flight, the last flight of the day, normally they are cheaper because they're not preferred. So that would make sense if you want to save some money. And friendly service. Guys, what do you think? Which one would you guys choose? Friendly service. I think most like airlines provide good service, friendly service. But to be honest, some airlines are friendlier than other airlines, right? So I can say there are some differences, but for me, that wouldn't be the reason why I would choose a certain airline. Yes. Oh, in Korea, there was an unfortunate, happening like 2 months ago. Yeah, there was a plane crash and a lot of people died. It was a plane coming back from a vacation. So a lot of people died on that flight. So recently, safety has been an issue. Like plane crashes have been happening not only in Korea, but all over the world pretty commonly recently. So you guys are still thinking which one to choose? In-flight dining options, flight time, friendly service. My personal preference would be flight time. Zaina, I think, is friendly service because I have to spend 4 to 5 hours on it. So friendly service is important for me. That is true. Yeah. It was really sad. I know. So many people died. I heard like a family of 8 or 9 people died. Yeah, because they went on a family trip all together. Okay, Paige, I think that flight time is the most important factor when choosing a flight. True. The new flight time is the most important factor to me or for me. A daytime flight make me feel more comfortable and it is easier to get taxi to my destination after landing. Good. Sandra, for me, the most important factor for choosing a flight is flight time, as I'd rather I'd rather to have more time. Okay, Sandra, when you're using this expression, you have to say I'd rather and then a root verb, okay? So I'd rather have more time. I'd rather, no to, you don't need a to there. I'd rather, this is, the formula. So I'd rather have more time to travel around, okay? Instead of, and here it's the same. Instead of, now of is a preposition. So if you want to use a verb, you have to make that into a noun form. So instead of wasting, right? My time to wait for a flight. Okay, instead of wasting my time to wait for a flight. Okay, and 별초록, you had said, in my case, flight time is the most important factor. When I visited Toronto, I needed to transfer once. It took me more than 15 hours. It was exhausting. And after that, I checked the flight time always. Your story is great. Okay. And Stuart, it depends on the situation. When I'm going to have a long distance flight, I will consider more on in-flight dining options because food is the most important thing for our human beings living. Okay. Okay. Hi, Ms. Gwen. This is the first time I watch your live show. I'm going to have a test on March 23rd. You really help a lot. I have a lot of Chinese people tonight because you guys are taking a test all together on the 23rd of March, right? All right. And Lemon, I think friendly service is the most important factor. It's because I can start my trip in a good time. Really? I can start. What about this, Lemon? I can start my trip with a good spirit. With good spirit. Okay? Like you feel cheerful, you feel good. If just for short distance, I would prefer more on flight time because I want to get to the destination ASAP. Okay. And Nguyen Hrong, I prefer to choose flight time. I often schedule before traveling, so it is important to book a flight before suitable to my. Okay, guys, when you're choosing an option out of 2 or 3, why don't you just say something is the most important thing? Okay. You don't necessarily have to read the whole question over again, but you can choose one and then say something like in-flight dining options. That is the most important thing, or flight time is the most important thing, and just add on what you want to say. Okay, so I will share my questions with you guys. All right, first question. Have you ever traveled by plane, and where did you go on your most recent flight? Yes, I have traveled by plane multiple times, and recently I visited Tokyo, and it took me 2 hours to get there, and I took the earliest flight, so I had to leave my home around 4:30 a.m. Okay. And then the second question. What kind of transportation do you use to get to the airport for your flight? It depends on the situation. When I'm using the Gimpo airport, I like to take the subway because we have line number 9, which is really fast. It takes only 30 minutes to get there. But when I'm using the international airport, which is Incheon Airport, I'd like to take the limousine. Gosh, that was a little too long. Okay. All right. And last one, what is the most important factor you consider when choosing a flight? In-flight dining options, flight time, or friendly service? And I am going to say, I think flight time is the most important thing for me because when I fly out to another place, it's normally for my travel. And for travel purposes, I would like to stay at that destination as long as possible. So normally when I plan a trip, I like to take the earliest flight out to the other place, other country, and then I like to take the last flight coming back to my, town or Korea. So I think flight time is the most important thing for me. Okay. I like to take the earliest flight and I like to take the last flight coming back to Korea. Okay. Naomi Ito, I prioritize the flight time to make the most of the time and enjoy sightseeing or dining at my destination. Also, a ticket is usually available at a reasonable rate. Okay. And Lily, for me, flight time is the most important factor. This is because I often fly for a business trip, and the shorter the flight is, the more time I have to prepare for the meeting. Okay. That is true. Yeah, sometimes if you make a transfer, then your flight time is much longer, right? So it makes sense to take direct flights and save some hours and then be there and prepare for your meetings. Yes, good. All right, now we're going to move on to part 4. This is the chart, the daily schedule of Brian Nielsen, who is the CEO of Grand Lux Hotel. Is it proper to speak until the time limit, like speaking until 0, or is it better to stop about nearly? I always tell my students to never stop talking until you see the, timer pop up, or what you see that, little thing pop up saying your answer is being recorded. You just keep on talking even if you get cut off, because if you if I see a lot of students who just stop before the timer ends, and it's like their answer is only 12 to 13 seconds long, and 2 seconds is quite long of a time. You can fit in one full sentence within 2 seconds of time. So just keep on talking. And I always tell my students to put in essential answers in the beginning part of your answer. For example, if the question was asking for when or where information, talk about that first and then add on more things to say about the question. Then whether you get cut off or not, it doesn't really matter, because you were talking about something not like the core or real important answer to the question, but you were talking about something in addition. So it doesn't really interfere with the core thing that you had to say. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. The thing, what I'm trying to say here is just keep on talking. Yeah, just keep on talking. It's a speaking test, and the more you speak, there's a higher chance of getting a better score. You have to be talkative. Okay, so this is the chart, and the narration says, "Hello, this is Brian Nielsen, the CEO of Grand Lux Hotel. And I know I have a busy day tomorrow with many things scheduled, but I forgot to bring a copy of my schedule. So could you please answer a few questions about my schedule for tomorrow?" Okay, so guys, I'll give you the first question, which is, what is the first thing scheduled for tomorrow, and what time do I need to be there by? What is the first thing scheduled for tomorrow, and what time do I need to be there? Okay. So actually those were 2 questions. The first question had 2 questions. What is the first thing scheduled for tomorrow? And what time do I need to be there? Right? It's a question that can be anticipated, actually. Lemon, you said your first schedule is staff check-in and hotel walkthrough, and at 9 a.m. Okay, Lemon, your answer is correct, but why don't you try to put all that information into 2 or 3 sentences, because it is possible, okay? Tat Hung, well, let me check the schedule for you. The first thing is staff check-in and hotel walkthrough, and you should come to there before 9 a.m. Okay, now the thing with there is an adverb. And when you use there as an adverb, there's no preposition. So you should not come there. When you say come, it means you are asking the person to come to the location where you're at. So you should be there. You should be there. before 9 a.m. Or you can also say you should be there by 9 a.m. Or you can also say it will start at 9 a.m. Okay, so you cannot say come to there, all right? So you should be there. It will start. There will be a staff check-in, Stewart says, and hotel walkthrough at 9 a.m. Oh, okay. You cannot say at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. At 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cannot happen this way. It's got to be from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right? So it's from 2, not at 2. You can be there. Maybe you can be there. I think your choice of word can is not that fitting here. You should be there would sound more natural. You should be there. You should be there at or by. But you don't have to say 8:55. Just say 9, okay? By 9 a.m. Or just simply say it will start at 9, so don't be late. Right? It'll start at 9. Don't be late, dude. And when you say about the place, lobby, now there is another problem with the location. It will take place in the lobby on the 11th floor. Okay, it will take place in the lobby on the 11th floor. Okay. All right. Sandra, let me have a look at your Stuart first. No, I have so many people's answer here. Nguyen, the first session is staff check-in and hotel walkthrough starting at 9, so you should be there before 9. The first schedule is staff check-in and hotel walkthrough, and it will start at 9 a.m. Fam, when you say this, it's not first schedule, but you have to say the first thing on your schedule will be something. Okay? So the whole thing is called schedule. So first thing on your schedule, the second thing on your schedule, you can say it that way. Stuart said it correctly. The first thing of your schedule, not of, but on your schedule. Okay? And Sandra, the first schedule is, again, the same thing. The first thing on your schedule is blah, blah, blah. NT. I usually drive by myself. Oh, okay. I think you're a little late there. Naomi Ito, please come to the Grand Lux Hotel at 9 a.m. because you will have staff check-in and hotel walkthrough from 9 a.m. All right, now Naomi, I think you went too far. It's going to be held at the lobby, in the lobby on the 11th floor, so you don't have to talk about the hotel in specific. Okay? Now I'm going to move on. I think we have enough of that part for question number 8 answers there. And let me move on to the next question, which is, I was informed that I have an important lunch meeting with potential investors tomorrow at noon. Is this information correct? Once again, I was informed that I have an important lunch meeting with potential investors tomorrow at noon. Is this information correct? That's the question here. I was informed that I have an important lunch meeting with potential investors tomorrow at noon. Is this information correct? Now, Lemon, I'm sorry, but you have the wrong information. That's a good start. Business lunch with potential investors is scheduled at 12:30 p.m. So please keep that in mind. Wow, Lemon, your answer is perfect. There's nothing I should correct you on this. Okay, that was great. That was great. Okay. You can say is scheduled because this is already scheduled, right? It's already on your schedule. So it doesn't have to be future tense. Is scheduled is perfectly fine. Okay, but there are other ways to say this, okay? So other than what Lemon just said, share your answers, guys. Nguyen Huang said that is correct. It'll take place at Sky Lounge on 12th floor. Okay. It will take place in the Sky Lounge. Okay. On the 12th floor. Now, guys, when you're talking about the floor, you see it's 11th or 12th or 13th or whatever. So in front of the TH numbers, right, you have to put the. So it's on the 12th floor. Yes, Lemon, you did a good job. Okay. Everything else is fine, but preposition, from, you have to think about the preposition, okay? Make sure to check on that. So for this, when you guys are talking about the locations, first of all, at, in case of the one that we're talking about here, it would be at Grand Lux Hotel, in the lobby, in the meeting room, 101, in conference room A, or in the Sky Lounge, and oh, sorry, it's in. And then on the 11th floor, on the 12th floor. Okay. Please check the prepositions here. All right. I think we're done here with the second question. Wow. That was quick. Let me give you the question for the last one then. Can you provide all the details about the interviews I'll be participating in? Are you guys... I knew it. I knew you guys are not waiting for the last question. But guys, if you're ready, you can just move on to the last question, which is, can you provide all the details about the interviews I'll be participating in? Now, Stuart, I'm sorry you have the wrong information. The lunch will take place in the Sky Lounge on the 12th floor. Okay? Not during 2. Remember? From 2, Stuart. It has to be from 2. From 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay? Stuart, it's from 2. You have to remember that. Naomi Ito, I'm afraid you have the wrong information. The business lunch with potential investors will start at 12:30, not noon. That is also a great answer. It does show that you were able to understand the questions. You have that, very good understanding of the question. It does show that because you said not noon. So actually extra points there. Naomi's answer was quite good too. Okay, guys, if you can, let's move on to the next question, which is, can you provide all the details about the interviews I will be participating in? And meanwhile, please press the like button. It does help us a lot to reach out to more people, because the more like buttons pressed, the YouTube algorithm helps us reach out to more audience. So make sure to press the like button, please. Please, while you're here. Don't press it twice. Press it once. Okay, the last question. Again, can you provide all the details about the interviews I'll be participating in? All the interview schedule. Thumbs up. Thank you, Sandra. Oh, meanwhile, let me tell you about a story that happened last night. Not last night, yesterday morning. So I was leaving a building. It was 9:30. I was crossing the street in front of a police station. And right across from the police station was a fire station. And as I was crossing the street, I wasn't even finished crossing the street, and I heard a car crash. The car passed right behind me, and it went right in front of the police station and crashed like over 20 bicycles that were parked along the streets, and then crashed right into the police station. So if I had been like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, like 10 seconds, 5 seconds slower, then I might have been hit by that car. And I think the driver was unconscious. So the person didn't even got out of the car after like hitting all those like bicycles and hitting into the running into the building. So I could have gotten into a big accident yesterday. And it was surreal. I couldn't believe that happened right behind me, not in front of me. Okay. So the thing is, it happened right in front of the police station, right across from the fire station. And there are 2 interviews you have to participate in. The first one is from 12 to 12 p.m. in the meeting room 101. Good. And the interviewee is Sandra Perkins for the director of guest service position. Okay. And let's see here. There are 2 interviews taking place in meeting room 101. Now, when you say meeting room 101 is actually the name of the meeting room. So you don't have to say in the meeting room 101. It's just in meeting room 101. Okay. The first one is for the director of guest position. You have to add the director of guest position. But it's the director of guest services position. You're missing a word there. And the second one is for the hotel marketing manager position. Okay. Almost no live show today. Yes, almost no live show today, but you're blessed. I'm blessed that I'm still here, not injured. 11, there are 2 scheduled interviews. First, you will interview Sandra Perkins for the Director of Guest Services position in Meeting Room 101 at 11 a.m. I really like your answer, Lemon. It's very clear, clean cut, nothing like unnecessary. And second, there will be an interview with Andrew Johnson, who is applying for the hotel manager position in the same room at 2 p.m. Perfect. Lemon, your answer is perfect. Go Thi Nunu, the other one is also in the meeting room at 2 p.m. You will interview Andrew Johnson, who not applied for, who is applying for, because it's an ongoing interview. So it is better to say she or he is applying for the something, something, something position. Okay? Tatong, you will have 2 interviews, and both will be held in meeting room 101. The first interview will be with Sandra Perkins, the director. Actually, Sandra Perkins is not the director. She is applying for that position. Okay? So, Tet Hung, you have to be sure that the person is not that person, but that person, those people are applying for the position. Okay? Sandra, sure, there are 2 interviews. Okay, so Sandra, when you say that, you have to say there are 2 interviews. Where's Sandra's answer? I'm going to go back to, okay, scheduled. You have to leave out the word V here. Which are 2 words that have to be there, actually. There are 2 interviews which are scheduled for you to attend. I think this is what you want to say. Okay. So either you leave both words, which are, or you have to get rid of both words. The first one is to interview Sandra Perkins. Now, no the in front of meeting room 101. Nguyen Hong, there are 2 interviews taking place. No the, just in meeting room 101. The first one is for the director of guest services position, and the second one is for the hotel marketing manager position. Okay. Guys, let me give you an example of what would be the best way of putting these 2 interviews. There are 2, right? First, at 11 a.m., you don't even have to mention 12. You will interview Sandra Perkins. She is applying for the something something position. Okay? So this is like what you can apply for both lines. And you can also say this. Both of them will be held in meeting room 101. Okay. All right. I think we covered enough for part 4 now. So I'll give you my answers. Now, it's very important to show that you have a clear understanding of the question by repeating some words that you hear in the question, although you might not see them on the screen. So, for example, the first question, what is the first thing scheduled for tomorrow and what time do I need to be there by? Well, first thing on your schedule is staff check-in and hotel walkthrough, and it will start at 9 a.m. So make sure to be there before 9, and it will be held in the lobby on the 11th floor. So please keep that in mind. And because I heard the word the first thing, I also repeatedly said the same word, the first thing on your schedule. Okay, and the second question. I was informed that I have an important lunch meeting with potential investors tomorrow at noon. Is this information correct? Actually, no, you have the wrong information. At 12:30 p.m., you will have a business lunch with the potential investors. However, it will not be held from noon, so please keep that in mind. So again, I mentioned that what you said, noon, is not the right information, so I corrected the person. And then last one, can you provide all the details about the interviews I'll be participating in? Sure, there are 2 interviews that you will be participating in. Well, first of all, at 11 a.m., you'll have an interview with Sandra Perkins, who is applying for the Director of Guest Services position. And from 2 to 3 p.m., you will interview Andrew Johnson, who is applying for the Hotel Marketing Manager position. And both of them will be held in Meeting Room 101, so please be there for the interviews. Okay, so yeah. It's a lot of information that you have to say within 30 seconds, but it was possible, so I'm pretty sure it would be helpful. I mean, it would be possible for most of you. And in order to do that, being able to know how to say both of them, being able to know how to use both of them would be very helpful because instead of saying it twice, you can say it once, right? Isn't media interview also as good? Oh, a media interview. Oh my God. Can you put all the details about the interviews I'll be participating? That can also be considered as an interview. That's true. My bad. I made it. My intention was to give you 2 interviews for with the candidates. Yes. My bad. Okay, and the last question is this. Are you easily persuaded to agree with a friend who has a different opinion? Oh my God, why or why not? Are you a person who could be easily persuaded? Now let's talk about this. Are you easily persuaded, guys? Now, Lemon, I think you were waiting for this time. Lemon has already uploaded her answer. I'm easily persuaded to agree with a friend who has a different opinion. Most of all, I influence my friends, and I usually spend my time with my friends. We do everything together. You don't. Do you influence them, or are you influenced by them, Lemon? I am influenced by my friends. is what you are trying to say. Okay? Whenever we like it or not, and I want peaceful life, therefore I'm easily persuaded. Yes. If that's the case, I think you're trying to say I am influenced by my friends. Who has a different opinion? Okay. I don't like to argue. I don't like to have disagreements. Oh, Jimmy Hung, I hope you feel better soon. I'm okay, I'm fine. I wasn't hit by a car. The car just like passed by me, like behind me. So I was so lucky. Yes. I don't like to argue. I don't like to have disagreements. So I just follow others' opinion. I just follow. I would say I'm not. Everyone has now in Guhong, everyone is a singular of word. So everyone has their own opinion. Has their own opinion. It has to be actually his or her own opinion. It's hard for me to persuade them to agree with my thinking. Okay? So you just follow them? Or oh, you just like respect. Oh, in that case you can say I respect their ideas, opinions, but I don't follow them or persuade them. I'm reflecting on myself right now. If I agree to people easily or not. And I think it depends on the circumstances. Like if it's regarding work, I'm very opinionative. I have a very strong opinion. I am very opinionative, and I have strong opinion. So I tend to appeal or what my thoughts, my ideas are, and I try to persuade the other people, right? But when it comes to just my normal day-to-day life, I never try to persuade people. I just go along with everyone's decision or thoughts. I just follow or go along with what others want because it's not such a big deal. It's not big of a deal. It doesn't really matter whether we eat Chinese food, Japanese food, or Italian food. It really doesn't matter for me. And Stuart, no, I'm not that kind of friend who is easily persuaded. Not who is. Okay? And I mean, you need to have some proof. Okay, prove is a verb, and you would have to say proof. That's a noun. Okay, and prove their ideas are better. Unfortunately, we could always make the same and meet. Okay, and thanks for the comment. I would say I'm not. Everyone has her own opinion, so it is hard for me to persuade them to agree with my thinking. I respect their opinion. Good. Sandra, most of the time. Now, Sandra, if you want to use this expression, it is most of the time. Not the most of time. Most of the time, I have my own opinions, but I will respect their ideas. However, I think I'm not that kind. I am not a kind of a person. I'm not kind of a person. I'm not a kind of person who is easily persuaded. Yeah, I'm not a kind of person. Or you can say I'm not that kind of person. Okay? But you need to put a. I'm not that kind of a person. Okay. So I would say I'm definitely somebody who could be easily persuaded. for this answer because we're talking about friends, right? And when I deal with friends, I never give my opinion. I just follow, I just go with the flow. I never disagree on anything. I say, yeah, yes, sure, why not? I become a yes person. Yeah. All right. So I think I have most of your ideas here. So here is my no, Jimmy. Okay. I will try to be open-minded. That's a very good expression with my friends when we have a disagreement, but when we're not on the same page, I really like that expression. On the same page. I will probably not want to be friends with them anymore. Like about what? In Korea, it's really dangerous to talk about politics nowadays. Yeah, we're so divided left and right. So even with your friends, it's like taboo to talk about politics. But for me, even with politics, when they talk about something that I disagree, I just shut my mouth. I don't say anything. And I'm like, okay, got it, fine. And I, stay very quiet because I don't want to cause any problem. Yeah, just keep it to myself. And Sandra, most of the time, yes. All right, now here's my answer, guys. I think I am easily persuaded to agree with a friend who has a different opinion. And there are several reasons to support my opinion. And most of all, I think it's helpful for the friendship. For example, I have a group of friends. There are five of us, no, including me, it's six. And we meet maybe twice a year. And whenever we meet, we always talk about the place, the destination we want to go to. And each of them have their own opinions. Some of them want to go to the beach, some of them want to go abroad, and I don't say anything about that because if I add another idea or an opinion to them, to that specific group, it would cause a chaos. It would cause more trouble. So whenever I have a different opinion with my friends, I wouldn't say anything. I would just keep quiet, just listen to them and try to follow and respect their ideas and keep my own ideas to myself. So I would pretend to be persuaded by them when what like actually I'm keeping my own opinion to myself. Yeah. So as I was saying, I'm like, okay, you're not being persuaded. You're just keeping your mouth shut, right? To cause no trouble is what I'm trying to do. I keep my mouth shut. I keep quiet. I keep my mouth shut and try to bring less problems. Yeah, bring out less problems. Because when you're together with so many people, there are already too many problems there. And even with just one friend, I tend to just keep my own opinion to myself. Okay, so I think we're through. We're done. Yes, we're done. Wow, that was a very quick one set of TOEIC speaking. Okay, so it is the end of February of 2025. And it's actually the last day of February. Yes. And March, we're going to have two live shows again. And every time, all you international viewers, you come to the Korean live show and you always say, why don't you talk in English? But, because I'm coming from Korea, this, production is done in Korea. We have more Korean audiences. So, we have to do a live show for them. So I have a live show done in Korean on the second week of March. And we checked last time, it's going to be March 14th, which in Korea is something called White Day. It's very similar to the Valentine's Day. And I think a lot of people will be having dates, yeah, on that Friday. But still, I'll be here for you guys. So please join us on, let's see, let me check the date again. Okay, so next month it's going to be 14th of March, the 14th of March. Yes, it's going to be the Korean version, but still, I do try to have you guys, come if you guys come, the international viewers, try to provide lots of English, context so you guys can understand what's going on. And on the 28th of March, okay? So be there, guys, for both, or if you're just English speaker, please be there on the last Friday of March. And until then, I hope you guys keep safe, And I hear there are some disease, illness going around. I hope it's not COVID, but just try to stay healthy, stay safe. And it's becoming warmer in Korea, so I'm feeling a little better. But guys, try to plan a visit to Korea. And if, you have any chance to visit Gangnam, try to hit me up, okay? Send me a DM on Instagram. Okay. Well, Naomi, you're talking about your own answer about yoga. Okay, I'll take a look at it later on. All right, so guys, have a nice weekend and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.